Hello and welcome to another weekly update. And there's an outbreak of unusually lovely weather in the UK, so I'm outside at the moment, not wanting to miss any of it. So let's talk about the things that have been happening this week. So first of all, blog post I put out earlier in the week calling attention to the upcoming conference in Denver, vNext. And I'm really excited about this one. It's a community-led conference. I know all the organisers. The speaker list is really cool. I'm honoured to be among some excellent speakers, and it's going to be a really good event. Loads and loads of really good technical content. If you can possibly make it, I would urge you to do so. It's in Denver, Colorado, June 5th, 6th. I'm doing 2 sessions. I'm going to be talking about building applications for Teams, and also a deep dive into the calling API. I've got 2 little videos about those talks. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them, there's a blog post I'll put in the link to this video. So if that sounds interesting, go and have a look at those videos. And if you can possibly make it to vNext, I would absolutely urge you to do so. Okay, so the Bot Framework team have put out a short survey. They want your feedback. They want to know your experience when creating bots. So this is really good. So you don't have to be like a massive, I create 100 bots a day kind of person. You could just, maybe you've done it once or twice. That experience that you went through, that's super valuable to the team. So they want to understand the pain points. They want to understand, what works well, what doesn't work well, what the process you went through, and kind of what you thought of it. So they've put together 10 questions. They're short questions. It should only take about a minute, but they really want your feedback. And this is really valuable. And this is Microsoft soliciting your feedback, wanting to understand what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and what your pain points are. So my request to you is, don't blow this opportunity. Microsoft are reaching out. They really want to understand. They really want to get the feedback. So our job, from the community side, from the users of this stuff, our job is to give them that feedback when they ask for it. Okay, so something else that you absolutely shouldn't miss that's coming up is Mary Jo Foley, so commentator about everything Microsoft, so all about Microsoft.com. She is doing a upcoming series called MJF Chat, I think it's called. But anyway, the reason you care is her first interviewee is Gary Pretty. So Gary Pretty, if you don't know him, if you don't know the name, he's very big in the bot framework world, in AI. He's an MVP, good friend as well. And so him and Mary Jo are going to be sitting down and talking about how can I get started with AI. So that's definitely a series you won't want to miss, or an interview, sorry, you won't want to miss. So I will put all the links to that. The other reason you should take a look at it now is that they are looking for questions to ask. So they're putting an open invitation for questions for Gary, things they want to talk about, things that you want to hear. So again, get your views out there, make them known. If you've got a burning question you want answered, let them know about it, and maybe they'll feature it. And finally, a piece of information for you: if you use the Microsoft Graph SDK, there is a new release for Java. So there's a Microsoft Graph SDK for Java. That has just been updated just sort of the last couple of days. So there's a new bunch of release notes and new bunch of capability, and it brings it up on par with the latest changes in the Graph SDK. Again, it's another really good example of Microsoft meeting users where they are on whatever platform and language that is, even if it's Java. So Java, not a Microsoft owned or run language by any means, but it's really good to see the Graph SDK team reaching out, making that compatibility, making it work with Java, providing a nice Java SDK as well. So all kind of good information, good things happening. It's good to see that happening. Alright, well, I believe it's a public holiday in the US on Monday. It's certainly a public holiday in the UK on Monday, so everybody gets a day off, which is nice, because if one side of the pond gets the holiday and the other doesn't, then often there's twice as much work to come back to. So it's kind of nice that both sides get Monday off. So hope everybody has a really good long weekend, whatever it is you're doing. If you've got a chance to kind of get out and about somewhere, that's great. If you're working on some projects and kind of home stuff, that's really interesting as well. Let me know what that is, especially if you're working on some team stuff, some Teams apps maybe, or a bit of bot framework, a bit of AI. maybe a good chance to have a look at some of that stuff. There's some new and interesting things coming down the line for Teams in terms of apps and development stuff, so I've got some work to do to write some of that stuff up, so kind of look for that in the upcoming weeks, and again I'll try and do as much as I can whilst I'm out at vNext as well. If I grab some interesting looking people in the Teams dev space, I will definitely try and kind of sit down with them for a couple of minutes to get their views on different things. But if you've got any questions you want answered from the from the Teams team, from the app platform team, if there's things you're trying to do in Teams dev that you think should be in there and they're not, or you just want to generally feedback to that team, let me know. No promises, but I'll see what I can do when I'm there. Anyway, have a really good couple of days off, and I will talk to you again next week.